They are the self-proclaimed sheepdogs, loyal, attentive, protective. They shield us from the wolves of the world, those who look at innocence as nothing more than a hearty meal. And we are fortunate to learn more about what makes these men the heroes they truly are. The book is called Among Heroes, a U.S. Navy SEAL's true story of friendship, heroism, and the ultimate sacrifice. The author is a former Navy SEAL and one of the best snipers in the business who takes us into the real world of his brothers. Let's welcome Brandon Webb to the Hardline. Brandon, good to talk to you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Brandon, what exactly is a hero?
I think a hero is somebody that is willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for the rest of us, and I think the 8 men that I talk about Among Heroes fit that description. Just willing to sacrifice for the greater good.
What is it, though, that sets them apart? These were your brothers. You spent time with them, and there has to be an innate quality here that we just don't see on the surface that has to make them want to surrender their lives.
Yeah, I think that was a big goal of mine in Among Heroes, was to really give the readers a look behind just what makes these individual human beings amazing people that I've got to know. And I think that was my main goal in the book, is to really provide the reader a deep look into the childhoods and the experiences, adding up into the point where these men volunteered to become Navy SEALs and serve their country and pay the ultimate price.
You mentioned childhood. Is that maybe one of the qualities, one of the areas that we don't see enough when we just look at them from the surface here, that we don't understand what made them what they are and who they are because of the people that nurtured them and helped to create them?
Absolutely. The moms and the dads and the families that raised these men. Guys like Mike Bearden, who was not only a high school quarterback and captain of his football team. Here's a guy in high school that was at a friend's house and saw a lady mugged, jumped off the second-story balcony and chased this guy down, and who had mugged this lady, and held this guy until the police showed up. And that's the kind of guys that are in Among Heroes. I mean, just the people are going to get to really get to know these men and the same way I did, and by learning about them, really, I think, walking away as a better person having a chance to read the book.
Tell us briefly, if you would, about Glen Doherty. He was your friend for more than 10 years, and he no longer is with us.
Glenn, here's a guy that from Boston, was almost a professional skier, became a SEAL at 25. I got to know him when we were new guys at SEAL Team 3. We went through sniper training together. We're friends inside and outside of the Navy. Fast forward to 2012, Glenn was a CIA contractor. He had already done a deployment to Libya and was set to go to any station he wanted, but he chose to go back to Libya because he told me he was one of the few guys that had experience there. They were doing good work, trying to get a lot of the weapons and yellow cake uranium off the black market in Libya, and so he volunteered to go back and be with his brothers. And when that attack broke out, he was in Tripoli and found his way along with a couple guys from JSOC up to Benghazi, like really put himself in the fight. And that's just the kind of guy he was. He was always, would never shy away from doing the right thing and being there with his brothers. And he died a hero for this country, and I just really want people to know about Glenn and who he was, and as well as the rest of the guys in the book.
Brandon, I got about a minute left here. Is it fair to say that you, the other SEALs that you know, would, in a moment's notice, in a heartbeat, without question, go back into war, go back into that theater and do their job again, especially when we hear so many people say, we need people like the SEALs on the ground right now in order to win?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's one teammate that I know that wouldn't not only do it all over again, but at a moment's notice, if that call was made and that question was asked, are you ready to go back and in service of the country? I don't think anyone would shy away from that, myself included.
But would they say many times, take the shackles off and let us get to work?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, absolutely. I mean, these guys want to do the work. You know, I think, you know, when we reflect back on Memorial Day and kind of the future of foreign policy in this country, I think you know, special operations is only a part of the solution. We need to think really hard about, you know, developing a clear strategic plan for foreign policy to deal with the likes of ISIS and these other extremists.
We could only hope that that will happen sooner or later. Remind everybody, the book again is Among Heroes, a U.S. Navy SEAL's true story of friendship, heroism, and the ultimate sacrifice. A brilliant book, a must-read. Brandon, thanks so much for joining us. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes in news continues.